Alright, let's be real. Most people have no idea what they're doing with Bitcoin. They're either panic buying during the hype or panic selling during the dips. But what if I told you that Bitcoin's price movements aren't random at all? In fact, they follow a shockingly predictable pattern. Parabolas, halvings, and cycles that have repeated over and over again. The data suggests we might see Bitcoin hit $300,000 in the not-so-distant future. Now, I know what you're thinking. $300,000. That's insane. But stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you the hard facts, historical trends, and psychological insights that most people don't talk about. This isn't your typical buy Bitcoin, get-rich-quick nonsense. This is the real playbook that savvy investors use to ride Bitcoin's wild cycles and come out on top. So if you've ever felt like you're just guessing your way through the crypto market, this is your chance to get ahead. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why $100,000 is just the beginning and how to position yourself for what could be Bitcoin's most explosive cycle yet. Let's dive in. If you've ever wondered why Bitcoin's price feels like a roller coaster on steroids, here's the secret. It follows these wild parabolic cycles. These aren't just random. Each one has a rhythm, like nature's tides. The highs, the crashes, the recoveries. They're all part of a pattern. Imagine surfing a wave you know is coming but can't predict exactly when it'll crash. That's Bitcoin's parabolas. Understanding these cycles could mean the difference between buying the dip or drowning in the hype. Let's break it down. Each parabola from Bitcoin's inception has followed a stunningly similar trajectory. These aren't one-off events. They've repeated like clockwork, gaining massive traction before tumbling in spectacular fashion. But here's what separates winners from the crowd. Knowing the game. These cycles don't just predict growth. They shape the psychology of the entire market. Each time people say, this time is different. But it's not. What's even crazier? We're in the middle of another parabola right now, and if history's anything to go by, this one might just dwarf the others, or at least follow its classic trajectory. The question is, are you ready to ride it? Because spotting a parabolic cycle early is like seeing a freight train coming, except this one's made of pure gold. And trust me, knowing when to jump off is just as important as knowing when to hop on. Let's go back to where it all started. Parabola 1, between 2010 and 2011. The early Wild West of Bitcoin. Prices soared 638x in just 3 and 17 days, from 10 cents to $31, followed by a brutal 93% crash. It was the first proof that Bitcoin had explosive potential, even in its infancy. Then came Parabola 2 from 2011 to 2013. A steadier climb over 744 days with 575x returns, reaching $1,150 before an 86% correction. This was Bitcoin's first brush with mainstream attention and its first hard lesson in volatility. Parabola 3 brought Bitcoin into the spotlight between 2015 and late 2017, the cycle that turned heads worldwide. Bitcoin surged 121x from $250 to $20,000 over 1,068 days, followed by an 84% drop. It introduced institutions and retail investors to the thrill and fear of Bitcoin. Now, enter Parabola 4, the era of so-called institutional Bitcoin from 2018 to late 2021. Institutional adoption drove Bitcoin from $3,000 to nearly $17,000. That is 22x in 1,062 days. Despite the hype, the market corrected 78%, proving that no amount of big money changes Bitcoin's natural cycles. That brings us to the current parabola number 5. This cycle has delivered a 6x gain so far, from $17,000 to over $100,000 in 760 days. All eyes are on where it ends, with speculation at $300,000. Predicting Bitcoin's future feels like gazing into a crystal ball, but history gives us clues. Based on past cycles and Fibonacci levels, I believe Bitcoin could peak at $300,000 by September 2025. Why? Because every parabola so followed a predictable rhythm, big pre-halving gains, even bigger post-halving explosions. The numbers don't lie, even if the market feels chaotic. Let's talk specifics. If the current cycle continues its trajectory, Bitcoin could mirror its past post-halving trends. In simple terms, the math shows diminishing gains but extended timelines. A $300,000 Bitcoin wouldn't just be a headline, It would mean a market cap of $6 trillion, positioning it as a serious rival to gold. That's not just speculation. It's a plausible scenario based on cold, hard data. But here's the twist. These predictions depend on key variables: market sentiment, global economics, and yes, even regulation. While the data points to massive potential, nothing is guaranteed. It's like planning a road trip with a map but no GPS. You've got the directions, but there are still surprises ahead. That's what makes Bitcoin so thrilling, and why timing is everything. Bitcoin's halvings are like flipping a switch on the price action. Every 4 years, the supply of new Bitcoin entering the market gets cut in half. Simple economics tells us that when supply tightens and demand stays strong, prices go up. Historically, halvings have acted as rocket fuel for Bitcoin's parabolas, triggering massive gains. Look at the data. After the 2012 halving, Bitcoin surged 16x. In 2016, it soared 29x post-halving. Even in 2020, with a more mature market, Bitcoin still delivered an 8x return. Sure, the gains are diminishing, but the trend is clear. Halvings push Bitcoin higher. It's like lighting a fuse. You just don't know exactly how long the spark will take. Picture this. Bitcoin hits $300,000, and the market cap balloons to $6 trillion. Sounds crazy? Not really. Gold's market cap is over $13 trillion, and Bitcoin is already being called digital gold. A $300,000 Bitcoin doesn't just seem possible. It seems fair, given the trajectory of adoption, halving trends, and increasing scarcity. But let's keep it grounded. What if Bitcoin doesn't hit $300,000, but still climbs to $200,000? That's still life-changing for those who get in early and ride the wave. The truth is, Bitcoin doesn't have to dethrone gold overnight. It just needs to keep capturing market share as more institutions and retail investors jump in. The scenarios are endless, but one thing is clear. Bitcoin's story is far from over. Whether it peaks at $200,000, $300,000, or even higher, the cycles and halvings provide a roadmap. The key isn't predicting the exact number. It's positioning yourself to benefit from the trends. Bitcoin isn't just a bet on the future. It's a front-row seat to financial evolution. So, here's the bottom line. Bitcoin isn't just a cryptocurrency. It's a revolution. Whether you believe it's headed to $300,000 or beyond, one thing is certain. Understanding the cycles, the halvings, and the psychology behind Bitcoin can give you a serious edge. Most people get caught up in the hype and miss the bigger picture, but not you. Now you know the patterns, the data, and the strategy to stay ahead of the curve. Here's the challenge. Will you use this knowledge or let it sit? Are you ready to position yourself before the next big move, or will you wait for the FOMO to hit? If you're serious about mastering Bitcoin cycles and building financial freedom, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. We've got way more to cover. And if you're hungry for even more strategies, tools, and insider tips, grab my ebook. It's packed with everything you need to level up, from the perfect portfolio to avoiding rookie mistakes. You'll find the link pinned in the first comment below. Don't wait until it's too late. This is your moment to take action and ride the Bitcoin wave like a pro.